Superman vs. Brainiac. Kara being manipulated. Episode 6 of My Adventures with Superman is full of details and references to cosmic groups from DC, so stay until the end of the video to catch all the details in this analysis with spoilers. Welcome to Comic Chronicles. The episode starts with Superman waking up startled in the chamber where Kara trapped him, trying to understand what's going on, why Kara captured him and took him to a spaceship in the middle of space. She says she needed to take him away from Earth because it's a pathetic planet, but Clark, upset, says she can't just imprison people like that. When trying to leave the ship and go back to Earth, he realizes he has no idea where he is. He asks Kara, but the response he gets is that Earth is not his place, but Krypton is, and they will bring Krypton back and build a new glorious empire. Kal-El flies through space, trying to find the way back to Earth. Kara says she is disappointed because she didn't imagine their reunion to be like this and promises that they will both return to Earth, but to take it for the Kryptonian Empire. Kal-El refuses, and she, enraged, says that the planet he loves has made him weak. But he disagrees, affirming that wanting peace is not weakness. Kara says her father imagined that this could happen, but she can work around it if he lets her show how she helped her father restore the Empire, for the good of the universe. Clark is surprised to imagine that there are other surviving Kryptonians and that Kara's father survived, so he agrees to let her show what she has been doing. Happy that he accepted, his cousin uses a thought projector to show how glorious and advanced Krypton was before its downfall. But as she shows, Clark realizes that they are only memories and tells her that his homeworld is gone, but on Earth, he has a family and people to fight for. Next, he asks her to show him who these people are. Now he uses the thought projector and shows a childhood memory of him on the Kent farm, playing baseball with his father, who is teaching him how to pitch and regulate the force of his throw not to hurt anyone. Seeing that scene, Kara says they only taught him to hide who he truly was. That's what her father was doing when he told him to reduce the force of his throw. But Clark says no, and that they loved him, it was just a game, a play. Kara refuses to believe and asks if anyone on the planet really cared about him. Then he gets emotional, accidentally letting the image of Lois breaking up with him into his mind, and quickly removes the projector from his forehead. As he goes to store the projector in a compartment of the ship, he realizes that there are photos of Kara with Jimmy Olsen, from the day they went out together. Kent is surprised, but Kara, embarrassed, says they are just records for information about the fiery bird, the leader of the planet. Then Clark realizes that she likes him, and they have a funny moment where she tries to grab the photo back, and Clark keeps dodging her to tease her. He then realizes that she keeps more objects in that compartment and sarcastically asks if they are other mementos, like Jimmy's photos. Kara says they are memories of the planets she has visited, such as Euphorix, Huldan, and Thanagar. For those who don't know, Thanagar is the planet of Hawkgirl, while Euphorix is one of the 23 planets within the Vega star system and one of the few that remain free from the tyranny of the Citadel, and Huldan is an arboreal world whose peaceful inhabitants resemble anthropomorphic versions of squirrels or chipmunks. Kara hides her objects because her father says her attachment to non-Kryptonian things is a weakness, and she should only strive to be a perfect Kryptonian warrior. Hearing this, Clark said that's what her father wants, but questions what she really wants. In a sad tone, she says she wants what's best for the Empire, and those planets she visited are being taken care of by the Kryptonian Empire. She doesn't understand why Clark doesn't want that for Earth. Clark gives her a chance and asks her to show him one of those planets so he can see how the Empire has taken care of it. Excited, she takes him to visit Thanagar, but they have to stop halfway because of an asteroid field that could damage the ship. Then we have another fun moment between the two, where Kara says he doesn't need to hold back his strength around her because they are both Kryptonians, so she and Kal start an asteroid war, as if it were a snowball fight. Arriving at Thanagar, Kara is surprised and doesn't understand what happened when she sees that the planet is in ruins. Her startled cousin asks her if that's what she wants for Earth and if that's what the Empire has done to every planet she visited. But Kara says no, and she doesn't understand what's happening because Thanagar used to be a prosperous planet. Suddenly, some robots descend from the sky, surrounding them. Superman prepares for an attack, but Kara says that the robots are from her father and they are there because they took too long to arrive in Kandor. They are taken by the robots to a large ship. From what it seems, in this animation, Kandor is the name of Brainiac's ship. Upon arrival, Kara kneels and asks Clark to do the same in the presence of her father. But he doesn't understand why he has to kneel to Zor-El. Kara doesn't know who Zor-El is and says her father is the power of Krypton, Brainiac 3. Brainiac says he previously worked with Jor-El before the fall and with Lara, and he assured that the empire he plans to create is totally different from what Kal's father knew. Next, we see Superman in a training room, with a Kryptonian brain reader, where Brainiac tests Superman's powers with holographic readings of what remains of the people who refused to obey the original Kryptonian Empire and how war was the power that fueled the Empire with new technologies and advancements. Before we continue, if you're a fan of my adventures with Superman and want to stay up to date with all the details and Easter eggs from every episode, give the super like to the video and your super subscription to the channel. This way, you help us reach our goal of the first 1,000 subscribers and keep this channel going. Thank you very much. Brainiac makes Superman fight holograms of a Green Lantern, a being that appears to be a Parademon, and a Thanagarian. When Brainiac sees that Kal managed to defeat the holograms, he decides to turn Kal into his weapon of war for rebuilding the Empire. Then Brainiac activates a red sunlight to weaken Superman and get what he wants. Kara watches what Brainiac did, asks what's happening, and realizes that something is wrong. But Brainiac brainwashes her to forget what happened. It seems that Brainiac had already erased her memory multiple times before, which is why she didn't know what had happened to the planets she visited. However, Brainiac didn't expect that Kara's memories would resurface when she saw her collection hidden in the compartment that Kal had found. When her memories return, she travels to each planet that was supposed to be under the care of the Empire and discovers that they are all in ruins. Arriving in Thanagar, she becomes desperate when she realizes that she herself caused the destruction of the planets. While in space, trying to figure out what to do, she sees a ship approaching and is surprised to see that inside the ship are Jimmy, Lois, Monsieur Mallah, and Brain. They appeared in episode 6 of the first season, closing this episode. This episode was also very good, and like the previous episodes, here we also have more references to the DC universe. When we see one of Brainiac's robots transform into a Green Lantern, doing research to try to find out who this Green Lantern would be, we find one who was known as Green Man and was part of the Omega Man, a group of alien superheroes created by Marv Wolfman. They are political fugitives from the Vega star system, which has been dominated by Brank's warriors under a regime known as the Citadel for centuries. The group of renegades becomes a resistance force. Interestingly, among the members of the Omega Man, their leader was named Primus, and that's the name Kara calls Brainiac here in the series. Could there be a connection? Remembering that these are not the only references to the Omega Man, as Euphrix is another planet that is part of the Omega Men stories. Could all of this just be a reference? I believe not. Briefly commenting on the Green Lantern, I like the luminous effect of the ring. It looked really beautiful in this animation, and in my opinion, the movement was very fluid when he used the ring. Another doubt that this episode left us with is regarding the Parademon we also see facing the Man of Steel. Brainiac said that the projections of both the Green Lantern and the Parademon and Thanagarian are what remains of those who refused the original Empire. If a Parademon appeared there, could it be that Brainiac has already faced Darkseid at some point? Or has Darkseid already engaged in combat with the Kryptonian Empire? That would already be something very different. Now that Kara has discovered that she has been used all along, we will most likely see her battling Brainiac and saving Clark. With each passing episode, I have more questions about this version of Brainiac in my adventures with Superman. Let's wait for the next episodes because we are now approaching the final stretch of this season. I would also like to comment on Superman's electricity powers, as they manifest when someone he cares about is in danger. I like that because it's as if Superman briefly enters Berserk mode when he uses these powers. Furthermore, this episode was entirely focused on Superman and Supergirl, but it's great that Jimmy and Lois won't be left out in this story involving Kara and Brainiac. They went to Monsieur Mallah and Brain for help, and that's great because the animation doesn't forget about its main characters. The three of them are always involved in the situations. Now I want to know your opinion. Did you enjoy this episode? What's your theory about Brainiac? Let's discuss. Write down your thoughts in the comments below, give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to enable notifications to stay updated on everything about my adventures with Superman. I also invite you to watch our playlist dedicated to this series by clicking on the card on your screen. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.